Today's other headlines: time is running out for Americans to file their taxes, and new data shows refunds are larger this year, though not nearly as big as the Trump administration had projected. The IRS says the average refund so far this tax season is just under $3,500. That's up around $350 from last year, but it's far short of the thousands of dollars or more that the White House projected back in January.
We don't believe you should send it all here to Uncle Sam. We want you to keep it.
On Capitol Hill today, House Republicans touted new tax breaks, which include no taxes on tips and overtime, as well as deductions for some seniors. Democrats, meantime, countered that any gains are being wiped out by higher prices.
Good morning, everyone. The American people are seeing their costs increase, even if they get a tiny bit of relief filing their taxes. Every month they're paying more.
Also on Capitol Hill today, the head of the IRS told a Senate committee that his agency is working to address the tax gap. That's taxes owed but not paid. That's even as the IRS has seen its workforce shrink around 27% since President Trump returned to the White House. Officials on a group of U.S. islands in the Pacific Ocean are assessing damage from tropical storm Sinlaku, which battered the region with fierce winds and rains. Eyewitness footage shows the aftermath of what was the year's most powerful tropical typhoon, which flipped cars and left many without power. Meantime, in other parts of the country, powerful storms ripped through parts of Michigan, toppling trees and damaging buildings. Some areas also saw flooding, while in Iowa,
a tornado warning remains in effect until 6:45 p.m. for northeastern Jones.
Storm chasers filmed this tornado, which touched down yesterday. It's part of a severe weather pattern that's been hammering the plains and Midwest. And it comes as a heat wave sweeps across the East Coast today, with record temperatures expected in cities like New York and Philadelphia. Forecasters expect the heat to last well into the weekend. In Turkey, officials there say a student opened fire on 2 classrooms in a middle school today, killing at least 9 people. It's the country's second school shooting in as many days. Chaos unfolded outside that school as parents and emergency personnel rushed to the scene. Turkey's interior minister says the suspected gunman is a 14-year-old student who was killed, though he did not specify how. The motive remains unclear.
This incident was an individual act committed by only one of our students. It is not an act of terrorism. I want to express once again how deeply saddened we are.
Officials in Turkey have imposed a nationwide ban on publishing images from the shooting that are considered traumatic. School shootings are rare in Turkey, making this week's attacks all the more striking. Sudan entered its 4th year of war today, with millions facing the threat of ongoing violence and famine. In eastern Sudan, health workers are reporting a spike in malnourished children since the fighting started. A UN-backed group has warned that some 800,000 people will suffer from severe acute malnutrition across Sudan this year. Meantime, at an aid conference in Berlin, European countries pledged more than $1.5 billion in humanitarian aid. A U.S. official at the meeting says the Trump administration, quote, remains steadfast in its commitment to ending this war.
We are working closely with partners in this room and beyond to press for an immediate shift from battlefield to the negotiating table, from violence to dialogue, and for ending this world's biggest humanitarian crisis.
The war between Sudan's military and the Rapid Support Forces paramilitary group, or RSF, erupted in April of 2023. Since then, officials say around 59,000 people have been killed and at least 13 million have been displaced. On Wall Street today, stocks ended mixed as hopes rise for a possible end to the war with Iran. The Dow Jones Industrial Average slipped about 70 points on the day. The Nasdaq jumped nearly 400 points to a new all-time high, and the S&P 500 continued its rally from recent lows. And Major League Baseball is celebrating Jackie Robinson Day. The annual event marks the day back in 1947 when Robinson broke the sport's color barrier.
Every child who dares to dream, and every voice that lifts and inspires others, Jackie lives on.
This year, the MLB rolled out a splashy campaign in his honor, and across the league, players, coaches, and umpires are wearing his iconic number 42 on their jerseys during today's games. Still to come on the News Hour, the The Department of Justice moves to negate more convictions for Capitol insurrectionists. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance continue their attacks on the Pope over the war against Iran. And author Susan Page discusses her book on the late Queen Elizabeth's relationships with U.S. presidents.
This is the PBS News Hour from the David M. Rubenstein studio at WETA in Washington, headquarters of PBS News.